Alright, Incisor, scene 1, Charlie, take 1.
What's up guys, how the heck are you doing? If you're new here, my name is Drewxcifer and I am a horror filmmaker. And in today's video, I'm going to show you how to take bland footage and make it look ultra cinematic and as easy as 4 simple steps. And then we're going to throw those 4 steps out the window and I'm going to show you how to do it in one single click to help you speed up your workflow and get your footage looking nice and cinematic. And if you watch this video all the way through, I'm going to give you guys something for free. So make sure that you watch this video so you can have that free gift at the end. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to jump into the editor and I'm going to show you how to get your footage looking ultra cinematic. So let's go ahead and let's get in here. Alright guys, so here we are in Davinci Resolve. Davinci Resolve is my editor of choice, but what we're going to be talking about today works in any editor that you have, whether it's Final Cut, Adobe Premiere, LumaFusion, iMovie, whatever you got, hit film. And if you want to see me do something similar, I will do it for you in one of those other editing softwares. Just drop it in the comments below and I'll make it happen. So here we are. This shot right here is the shot that opened up this YouTube video. This is taken from my short film Incisor. Incisor is a movie that isn't released yet because we're actually turning the short into a feature, because when we got on set we really just started digging the story so much that we're like, okay guys, we have got to make this a feature. So I have a lot of unreleased clips and I may put those out at some point or just use them as a proof of concept to fund the feature. So you'll notice that the footage looks super red, and the reason for that is there is a style of cinematography from the 70s by Dario Argento, and it was very neon, and I love neon horror, so I wanted to make a couple of films like that. So that's why this footage has so much red lighting. So if you haven't seen Suspiria from the 70s, go watch it. The OG one is the one you want to see. The new one is kind of but watch Dario Argento's and you'll get the vibe of what I'm going for. So what we're going to be doing today is we're going to be using a plugin within Davinci. And the plugin is by a company called Filmconvert. They are a film emulation company that creates plugins for editors, and it's a little bit on the pricier side. I think it's $200 for the full plugin, but this is one of the best investments I've ever made, because not only does it give me the look I'm after, but it speeds up my workflow. So I'm not affiliated, I'm not sponsored, wish I was, but guys, this plugin will change your life. So let's go ahead and I will show you how to take your footage from bland to ultra cinematic. So this clip right here is the same as this opening clip, and all we're going to do is we're going to take this Filmconvert plugin down here, we're going to drop it on top, and I'm going to show you how this works. So you can do this with any camera you want, but since I shot this on the Blackmagic Pocket Cinema 4K, I'm going to go in here and I'm going to select my camera profile and I'm going to hit apply, and you see that it instantly changes that. So it goes from this to this. Now of course you can do that just by going to your color correction tab or your color grading tab and adjusting all the settings, but this gets you there a lot quicker, sort of like a LUT or a plugin, except this isn't just a LUT or a preset. This is a full plugin that this company spends their entire budget, their entire reason for being is emulating films. So what you're going to get with this plugin is you're going to get accurate film stock emulation, right? So it's going to actually look like film and not like just, you know, some crap that you downloaded off the internet. So when you're in here, what we want to do is we can go through and we have our camera settings here where you can adjust your exposure if you need to. You can adjust your temperature, your tint, and your saturation. You can also go here to your film stock. This is where it gets super interesting, because right here at the top you have your Kodak 5207 Vision 3 film stock, and then on down you have different ones that give you different types of fills. So as you can see, there's a lot of noise in this image, and that's because down here in your grain settings, it automatically applies a lot of grain to make it look like film. So let's get rid of that because there was no grain in my image. So you can play with that as you see fit, but there is a lot of cool film stocks in here, from Fuji to Ilford. Like if you wanted some nice black and whites, you've got those in here, just of all different flavors. You even have Polaroid 600, which would give it like a super 70s feel, especially if I dialed this down like this, took the saturation down a little bit. So yeah, and then on top of that, you have this film color slider that will take your film color. It's sort of like, it's almost like a gamma or a gain control. And then you have your film size, so you can make it emulate an 8mm, which makes it a lot softer, Super 8, 16 mil, Super 16, 35 Academy, 35mm 3. You've also got Super 35, and you have 35mm full frame. And then again, down here you have your grain strength, grain soft, and your like your black point. So you got a lot of stuff that you can do with this plugin, as well as make LUTs from this plugin. So what we're going to do is we are going to just play with it on some different kinds of footage, and I'll show you what you can do with it. So that's essentially what it looks like. I mean, like I said, you can take your footage from something like, if you like this look here, from like that to this. This is straight out of camera. This is with the preset on. Now, that's not how I would grade it. I would actually sort of grade it more like this one, because this is using the actual LUT that I made for the film here. So going here, this is straight out of the footage. This is a little bit of BTS. So Incisor is a werewolf film. Here we are pouring blood on our werewolf character, and this movie was so much fun on set. Now you can see him eating entrails. This was just sort of like a werewolf attack scene. A little bit darker than I would have liked it, but let's go ahead and let's throw Filmconvert on it, and let's see what kind of look we can get. So again, choose camera, Blackmagic. It was shot on the Pocket 4K, shot with the film mode, and this is what it looks like just without touching it. So what I want to do is I want to pull this film color back a little bit, and let's just play it and just see. So obviously it's way too dark, so let's bump up this exposure, because we want to be able to see those entrails that my werewolf is eating, but we don't want it to be super light. Like, I love crushing blacks, especially in horror. That's a little horror grading tip. I don't want to see what's in the shadows. I want that to stay as a mystery to the viewer, because I always want their mind to be working. Like, is something going to come out of the black background? Is something going to come out of those low lights? I don't want all of my image to be have detail. So let's play around with a couple of these different film looks. Like, I like this one. This looks pretty good to me. So I like that. That gives me a little bit of that faded film look, because you can kind of see how my blacks aren't true black. They're sort of a gray. Let's mess with some Fuji. That has a lot of grain in it. That looks pretty gnarly. I actually like that too. I actually like this one with some grain in it. So let's dial the grain back a little bit. I'm curious to see what the Polaroid 600 looks like. And that makes it look like a freaking Grindhouse movie. Do you guys know what Grindhouse films are? If you do, put a skull and crossbone down in the comment section. And if you really are into Grindhouse, let me know what your favorite Grindhouse movie is. We can do a whole video on how to get the Grindhouse look. But yeah, so that's pretty sick. I like that. That's not how I would grade it. I would probably go with like this one, a 5213. And that looks pretty good. So let's get back to a good still shot. So here is straight out of the camera, which looks pretty good. And then here is with a little bit of grade on it. And then what I would do from here is this is going to get you 99% of the way there. Then I would go over to my color grading tab and I would start messing with some of the curve correction and some of the gamma and the gain and some of the saturation tools over there within Davinci. But this has got me 99% of the way there, and then I would develop a LUT off of this to use either on set for monitoring or for grading all of the film later on. So of course you're like, well, this stuff already is a film, already looks sort of cinematic, so it's gonna be cinematic. So let's take something that isn't inherently cinematic, like this shot here. So this right here is me walking through the woods in my Vans boots. Vans, you should buy this footage if you are sitting here, because this makes your boots look super awesome. So not terribly cinematic. Let's go right here to a still shot of me stepping up on this log. Let's put this Filmconvert plugin on here. And again, we're going to hit Effects tab to activate it. We're going to go to Blackmagic. We're going to go to 4K, Film, and Apply. And just like that, you can see how freaking awesome. It made it just straight out the gate, right? And you're like, well, I can do that with a preset or a plugin, and you can. You can also do it by adjusting sliders, but you're not going to get a film accurate emulation using just presets and plugins unless you downloaded it from a reliable source. And those are really hard to find because a lot of people, they're trying to get that film look, but it always still has a little bit of digital just vibe to it. So like I said, this company's entire reason for existing is to accurately emulate film. So let's play with some of these different film stocks. Let's go with this right here. I mean, come on guys, this looks like this was shot on freaking actual film. Look at that grain. Like, some people love grain, either you love it or you hate it. I like just a tiny bit, if any at all. But right there, like, and then you could do this, you could go right here, let's do a dynamic zoom, and then right, and then you add some Foley on top of that, and whew, that is like a Vans commercial. We need to make a Vans commercial. We should put these boots on in a video, and we should use this clip and see if we can create a Vans boots commercial. That's a good project for this channel. We're going to do that. So yeah, so that's what that looks like. We could actually go back in here. Let's go back to effects. Let's go up here. Let's put our exposure down some, just a tiny bit. Let's bump our saturation. I like the 5207 Vision 3 the best because it gives me like those rich greens and those rich colors and really crushes my blacks. But this is it right here. So this is with Filmconvert Nitrate's plugin. This is straight out of camera. Obviously this is being shot in like a log, Blackmagic RAW, so it's going to be washed out, but just the difference, you know. I mean, look at that. Alright, so of course, like I said, this is, let's say, something that is not inherently cinematic. It is cows. So let's throw this plugin on top, go to effects, and what I want to do is, horror can be graded so many different ways, right? You can have so many different looks when it comes to horror films. Now, one look that I like is, of course, like I said, the neon look, and then I also like the desaturated look to where it looks like, one, it was either shot in the 70s or 80s, or two, it looks like the movie The Witch. If you guys have seen it, it has just this look to it. So let's see if we can get something close to that. First of all, we need to come way down with our exposure. And let's dial back our film color a little bit. Let's take our grain down and our temp. I want to go less cool, a little bit warmer. Let's go to, I mean, that looks good. It doesn't look like The Witch, but it looks good. Let's go to, I think The Witch was like colder tones like this. So if I went in and then I started playing with my my grading tab, you could really dial in this look. So let's hit my curves. Let's go to my color wheels. And you can see how crushed, if you look over here at my scopes, my waveform, how crushed it all is, but you don't honestly have to pay that any attention as long as you like the look of your film. Screw it. So I don't know, so if I was shooting something horror related and I needed a cutaway of cows, this is it, guys. I mean, freaking simple, right? So there's that. There is this shot here. Again, I already threw some Filmconvert Nitrate on this. This is without it. This is with it. It's just a street lamp, right? So you can see how it instantly changes your footage. Let's go through and let's look at some more. So this footage right here is not necessarily anything cinematic, but this is my wife standing in front of this creepy barn, and this is without it. You can turn it off, you can toggle it on. It makes it look a little creepier, crushes the blacks. You may like it before because it wasn't bad before, but it looks good both ways. Just has a different feel to it. Trees. Everybody loves shooting up at trees. So let's go ahead and let's see what this looks like. I was just in the woods with my Blackmagic on a Ronin S gimbal, and I was shooting up at some trees. And just like this, guys, you get that nice film look. So right here, check out what we can do here. This has a lot of freaking lens flares in it, so excuse that. It's not going to be smooth because I added a dynamic zoom out, as well as the gimbal is, you know, essentially spinning around in a circle looking up at trees. It's a pretty sick shot. So again, here, let's look at this. I already threw some effects on this guy as well. This is just a tracking shot going through the woods. This is straight out of camera. This is with a little bit of the Filmconvert on it. Again, you got lens flares in because this video is actually on the channel and it's just showing a super cheap lens alternative for the Blackmagic. So you guys can see how easy it is to make your footage look good. This is straight out of camera on this guy right here. And this is with a little bit of, you know, just throwing it on there, not really toying with it too much. So you can really get a nice film look if you use this. This is straight out of camera. This is with that Filmconvert thrown on it. So what I want to give you guys is I have a LUT that I did develop for this film here in Sizer. So if we go over here, I want to show you guys what it looks like, and then I'm going to put a link down in the description that's going to take you to my website and you can download it for free. And it is sort of just a horror LUT that I decided to use that crushes the black, that gives you a lot of saturation, that will give you this sort of look here if you're into that. And if you're not, just download it anyways, put it in your library. Maybe one day you'll run across it and you'll be like, oh yeah, I have something I can use. So what we're going to do is we're just going to throw it on this clip of the trees because this is something that most people will probably have. So let's go to our grading tab. We're going to go in here. We're going to go to LUT. And we're going to go down here to Suspiria. And that is sort of the look you're going to get with it. It crushes your blacks. It gives you some saturation. Let's put it on our Vans. Let's put it on our Vans commercial clip we got here. Let me go ahead and let me cancel our Filmconvert. Let's go back over here. LUT. Go down to Suspiria. And boom. I mean, look, that's Control D to take it off. That's straight out of camera. That's with the LUT on. It gives you that nice sort of moody look. So if you guys are interested in that LUT, go download it. And I hope you enjoyed this type of video. I want to make a lot more of these tutorial videos. I know that this wasn't super in-depth of how to grade. I will have a grading video from the ground up, but I just wanted to share this with you guys of how easy it is to get your footage to look, you know, super cinematic in just a few clicks. So go down to the description, go get that LUT, and use it in your footage, and I would love to see what you're creating with it. I don't want credit for anything for you using it. I just would love to see what you guys are making. So we have just hit 1K subs on this channel, so we're gonna do a 1,000 subscriber giveaway in the next couple videos, so be on the lookout for that. And if you like camera videos, watch this video right here, guys, because it has important information to help you become a better filmmaker. And as always, guys, just go shoot, and I'll catch you on the next one. See ya. Man, this looks so freaking good, Vans. What's up?